All right.
So, my name is Colin Lyman, and I'm going to tell you my paranormal experience. It was about 15 years ago. I was in my mother's condo in Oldsmar, and um, it was broad daylight. At the time, I was talking to my girlfriend in my bedroom, and we were talking about going to rent a movie from Blockbuster. And and I do like to preface this. Even at the time, I wasn't interested in the paranormal. I hadn't read any books on it or watched any movies. Nothing to suggest that my mind might be playing tricks on me or looking for this to happen. Because I know human beings can be suggestible, but I was really out of nowhere, broad daylight, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and we both stopped mid-sentence, and it was kind of startling. We had this feeling of, I don't know how else to describe it, but it really felt truly evil enter the room. And it kind of took a few seconds. Experiencing something like that and never having had that experience before, it really just kind of takes your brain a few seconds to be like, this is, to just realize what was going on and kind of look for an explanation and realize there isn't one. And so after about 5 or 10 seconds of just kind of like pausing and realizing what was happening, just this really intense feeling of just this sinister energy, both of our eyes were kind of big, and all I said was, do you feel that? And she said, yes. And that's all we said, because we were still kind of in shock from the energy of it. And I had a tube TV at the time, and we heard it kind of charge up statically, flash white at probably like max volume. There was like a pop out of the speakers, and then it went off again. So later that night, we were watching TV, and I actually heard my mother had this kind of like garbled speech from the other room, and it was quite loud. It was, I was in my bedroom, and there was a hallway and a bathroom between my room and my mother's room, and I heard it over the TV, so it was quite loud. It wasn't like something quiet, somebody talking in their sleep, like kind of mumbling like you would normally hear. Mm-hmm. And it was, alarming. I thought she was having a stroke or something and couldn't speak and needed help, so I kind of walked into her room quickly and asked her if she was all right, and she kind of kept on mumbling for a few seconds, and then finally woke up. And then she was very disoriented and kind of just said, yeah, I'm okay. I was just dreaming or something. And then the next day, she went to an oncologist out of the blue, mm-hmm. and found out that she had breast cancer. And I didn't find out until a couple weeks later. She actually told me what had happened that night is she actually had, I guess you would call it a spirit enter her room. She calls it death, and entered her room, and she said she could really only see the face, but it was distorted. It didn't look human or anything like that. It kind of looked distorted, but it did have like eyes and a mouth, and told her she had cancer. It was really unbelievable, and the oncologist appointment wasn't scheduled. She was perfectly healthy prior to this, and told her she had cancer and she was dying, and that's why she went to the oncologist the next day and found out she had cancer. And That was 15 years ago. She's alive and well now. And so that's why the story is just kind of always bothered me, or the experience has bothered me. And it's just been a mystery because it felt so sinister to my girlfriend and I. And it seemed to have saved my mother's life by catching her cancer early. So it was just a really strange experience. I still don't know what to make of it, but that's my story.
Very cool.